Hi guys, FrostFangs here, welcome back once again, of course, to the Paladins video. We're going to be playing some Corvus today and talking about the buffs and nerfs he's having in the upcoming Hi-Rez Season 4 update. I feel like the easiest way to summarize these changes to Corvus is that it's leveling the playing field a little bit, making the main way that people were playing in, which was spreading influence, a little bit weaker, and then buffing up the other ones a little bit. Saying that though, they are pretty substantial, though I don't know if it'll be enough to kind of change the main way that Corvus is played. I think spreading influence will still be the best one, but the other two should be at least played a little bit now, and in some situations they will be the better choice. Damage Corvus did get a bunch of changes, but I'm going to be focusing on that a little bit less. I'm going to be focusing a bit more on Dark Gifts, and I'll make a separate video for Damage Corvus I think sometime when this update goes live, just because it's a bit of a separate subject from the other two, and just because his F is pretty janky, and I feel like that's really what's holding him back. Even if his damage playstyle is really strong, I don't think people will use it because it's just a little bit too finicky. So yeah, we'll go through the patch notes, I'll show you my builds, and then we'll jump into a game or two. First off, his ultimate Entropic Breach is actually now going to affect pets and illusions. I thought it did that before. I thought it was more of a bug than a balance thing, but apparently it was intentional. But now it should hit pets and illusions. Other than that, Dark Gift is getting a buff. It's going from 10% to 15% cooldown reduction. The CC reduction is staying at 15, same with the reload speed, but the heal is going up from 50 to 75. So this really will make your Q one hell of a buff, because with the loadout you're also getting 15% lifesteal, 15% speed, 50% CC reduction, 50% cooldown reduction, 50% reload, and 75 heal every second, alongside the right click heal obviously. So it really will make your mark quite beefy. Other than that though, Stunning Visage is going from 600 to 800, and Spreading Influence is going down from 15 to a 20% decrease. Now that the power level of the talents has been evened out a little bit, you're pretty much going to decide if you want to have a mega mark that's going to just buff out whoever you're marking, or if you want to have two at the cost of obviously a little bit of healing, or if you just want to stun with some damage. Personally, I still think Spreading Influence will be the most popular one. I think if it was 25% it would be even more equal. I don't feel like Spreading Influence really needs to be nerfed, but Dark Gift and Stunning Visage could easily do with a little bit of a buff, especially if the F is going to be as janky as it is. This could do with being, you know, quite a bit better. But overall I feel like the talents now are fine, and they should focus a little bit more on his kit and his cards, because I feel like those could do with being changed quite a bit more than his talent selection. I'm glad they've evened them out a little bit though for the two setups. We've got damage, which I'm not doing today, and then just standard Corvus, which is a little bit different than the last one I've shown you on live because of the card changes and stuff. First off, Abyssal Shift is going from 3% to 5% damage reduction whenever you have your projection out, which is pretty damn good. Unyielding Discipline is the next one, which is going from 0.2 to 0.5 whenever you hit somebody with your F. Both of these are pretty damn big changes to Damage Corvus, but like I said, that's going to be a focus for a different video, but I thought I should mention them at least in this one. The one that we'll actually be using today is Abyssal Effluxion, which is the card that gives 5% damage reduction to whoever you heal, is going from 0.3 per level to 0.8, which is a really big increase, because now you can actually give somebody damage reduction for an actual meaningful amount of time, other than just like 1.5 seconds at max. So I'll be running this alongside Dark Gifts for the talent, so we're going to have as much of a buffed out mark as possible. Essentially what I'm going to be calling the Mega Corvus mark, or whatever I ended up titling this video. We've got movement speed, we've got lifesteal, we've got a bit of damage reduction, a bit of self-heal, and a bit of extra health. I have played with this a tiny bit on the PTS, and I'd still put it a little bit under like the Spreading Influence setup, just because of how powerful having two marks out instead of, you know, one is, which is why it was the standard playstyle for him. But I will say that I mean that generally, and in some situations this will actually be the better choice. It really just depends on the map, the mode, the teams, and all that sort of stuff. So with all of that out of the way, been a bit of a long intro, let's go ahead and actually jump into a bloody match. I was originally going to talk a little bit about how he interacts with Yag in the intro, but there isn't all that much I can really say, other than his ultimate kind of counters there a little bit, and maybe the damage way of playing Corvus also, but there really isn't all that much I can say. But I suppose you'll be able to see a little bit in today's video. We've got a Hi-Rez, a Maeve, a Ceres, and a Willow. Shoutouts I think it was to our Willow and maybe Ceres. I do recognise a few of the names there. We're up against a Yag, an Eva, a Grok, at the end, and a Cassie. We'll go ahead and grab our Dark Gifts, and then the standard setup we'll start off with some Chronos. Yeah, shoutouts to Yuki BG, Alec Poe 9, who I did call out I think in yesterday's video, which I recorded earlier today, right at the start of the day. Shoutouts also to J001B, and maybe anybody else there that might have missed. It's kind of hard to follow, but shout out to a lot of them. Go ahead and throw the mark on the Yag. We've got Blast Flower, Soul Collector, Corrosive Acid, Street Justice. We're there on the Ceres. We're against Corrosive Acid, Snow Globe, Maelstrom, Precision, and Exaction. Gotta love that passive 75 heal a second. It might not seem like much, but it's definitely way better than 50% better. Obviously, there's some shots on the Cassie from the behind. We'll throw a Q on the Hi-Rez. Shouts to the Maeve, I appreciate the support. It's always nice meeting you guys in game. I very rarely have bad experiences with any people who've seen my stuff, so shouts to a lot of you. Through the mark on our Yag. Their Yag's just kind of dancing around a little bit. I feel like I'm fine, just not even really paying that much attention to me. Their Yag's just over there getting some free headshots on her. Okay, cool. Our Yag pushed on the right side. She's now running in. We'll throw the mark through her, but didn't even need to. Well done, Maeve, with the execute. Go on to the Ceres. I'm going to throw the mark up and go for the ultimate. I don't know if I want to zone off that area there, if I want to throw it on the Cassie. We'll throw it on the Cassie. Why not? Just to give her a bit of a hand. She actually finished her off. Nice. She's playing very very, very well. I do recognize the name. I think I played with or against that Yagarath a couple times. They're both just kind of rolling around. Now they're fighting indoors. There's a bunch of damage. There's a heal. There's no way Yagarath's going to lose this fight, so there we go. Definitely going to shred them right now. Got to give mad props to the team. I'm just kind of doing standard stuff here with Corvus. I imagine my mark is helping out, but I'm not really doing anything, I guess, that is above normal. We'll throw our mark over here into their backline, throw a heal, just Yagarath left, and there is the 2-0. So it's just saying there in the chat, how ugly not speaking English. A lot of people are really surprised that I speak Spanish. If you've been watching me for a while, you already know why I'm not going to get into it in this video. I might go through it all again if I do a staff video. Shouts once again to the Maeve. You know, Yagarath just tried to ult somebody, but did the animation didn't actually get anybody. That was weird. I'm going to throw my mark up, go for the ultimate, throw a mark on the Yag. The Eevee's jumping me. She's gone. Very weird match so far. Throw the mark onto the Ceres. Yagarath's just playing kind of weird. He's definitely dead here because he's just going to execute him, I'd imagine. Or the Willow can do it. Same exact thing. We'll throw another heal to the Maeve just so that the Yagarath gets a little bit over there. We'll throw another one. Maeve just killed the Grok, who I think was behind. Wasn't even really trying to do anything to me, so it's fine. We'll throw the mark through. There's a heal. I don't even need to teleport in. Team just kind of shredding. There's a heal for the two of them. Our Willow's on a 25 streak. The end's on the side. There's a heal for the Willow. We'll throw the mark on the Maeve. Grok is going in. I'm going to teleport up here, kind of indoors a little bit. I feel like I'm really underreacting to what's happening, but there is, yeah, the victory. I was just having a really chill match. There was Corvus and the team was just shredding them, but there is the 4-0, I think 6-minute win, something like that. Don't even know what else I can add, but there are the stats. Shoutouts to their Grok. I went 4-1, 16, 23k, 38k. I'll happily take that. Ceres did a solid job. So did the Yag, so did the Maeve, and so did the Willow. Shouts to a lot of them. Then for their side, they had a very similar thing, just kind of the opposite, with them all having a bit of a hard time there. But let's go ahead and jump into game 2. That one was a bit of an uneven stop match. I feel like I played my part. I did my job there as Corvus, throwing up my heals, playing the objective quite a bit more there than everybody else. Didn't even really realize that. We did a little bit of damage, which also was fine overall. The setup worked, but I think regardless of what I went for there, that was going to be a pretty heavy win for us. Right, off for game 2, we've got Siege, Frozen Guard, we've got a Yag, a Grok, an Eevee, and a Willow. A few people here who were in the last one. We're up against a Cassie, a Dredge, another Yag, a Vora, and a Ceres. Gotta say, the PTS has been way more active this patch than most of the other ones we've had. It's like a week after the PTS went up. It's actually been up nearly the entire time, and I've been able to find matches the entire duration of it. So I'm actually quite glad to have been able to bring you so many videos on like the test server and stuff, showing off the new things. But we'll go ahead and grab Dark Gift, and then the setup will start with Kronos again. We got Blast Flower, we got Corrosive Acid, and Maelstrom. Then also Over the Moon, and we're up against Relentless Presence, Corrosive Acid, Mortal Reach, Abyss Spike, and Exaction. Died straight off the bat. The F was a little bit janky. Willow avenged me. Cassie died for it. She pushed really far into our backline. Our Yag beat their Yag. Grok's kind of staying on the point. There's some shots for the Yagarath. I guess we can just get some more shots on him and just teleport through. There's a heal for the Grok and also the Yagarath who's pushed up. I can tell you without a doubt how much of a pain Yagarath is on a map like this. He just got bursted though by the Dredge. As a heal for the Grok. They're throwing so much damage down here, but we did get the objective. Heal and then the F to try and leave. Right click for him. He's still up. Q over there for the Eevee instead of it being on the Willow. There's a right click to her. Grok went for the ult. There goes the Dredge. Q on the Yag. There's a right click. I'm going to throw the F over here. Go for the ultimate. Willow's going for it too. We'll throw that right at the back. There's a heal that didn't go anywhere near I wanted it to. Teleport over this way. Chase the Vora. There we go. Finished her off. There Yag's going for the ultimate. Definitely not going to get it though. There's a right click for the Grok and also the Yagarath who's also going for her ult. There's a right click for one of those two. Finish off the Yagarath. Nice. We nearly got the Cassie, but she rolled off. She's going for a roll setup, so she's spamming it like mad. Right click for her. Very tempted to teleport upwards. We just go for it. There's a right click. There's a Q. I guess I'm in this corner now. Push in the overtime. I'm going to go up into the air. Go for the ultimate. Just throw it right there on the point. She actually just pretty much insta-died there. I think she used her ultimate to get some health back, which is why it worked out so weirdly. There goes the Vora. There goes the Dredge. So it's going for the ult. That's the stun. I'm going to blink over this way. There's a right click. The animation on that was kind of weird. Heal for the Eevee. So it's in the F there, stopping us from pushing it, but that is going to be the push successful. I didn't even know why it was freaking stuck for so long, but there is the 2-0. Definitely more janky than game 1. I've apparently got 200 ping, which would maybe explain some of that. Shout once again to the Yagarath and also the Grok there. For some reason it took them a little while, I guess, to realize it was me. Seems like we're having nearly a repeat of game 1, just with a little bit of extra awkwardness. So far though, Dark Gift is working really well. The Mega Mark setup feels really, really nice actually when I throw my mark on somebody. It feels like it's actually a pretty damn big buff to him. For the Eevee, we did have the mark I think on the Willow. Shots over there onto the Yag. That's Cassie on me. There's the blink. Momentum carry on that is kind of weird, so it put me right back into the middle of them. I was going to die there regardless because we just got team wiped. Yeah, go to the Grok. Rip. We of course did get the objective lost. I've got my mark on our Yag. There's a heal to the Eevee as well. I'm going to go ahead and pop my ultimate and just throw it there on the point, I suppose. Yeah, again, Corvus sort of really the only interesting interaction between the two of them. The rest is pretty much what you'd expect. Heal for the Yag, although that was meant to go to the Grok. He's now dead. Q onto her. There's the right click as well, just so we get the cooldown back so we can spam it on her. She's going for the ultimate. She's not going to get the Void though. There's a heal, which didn't seemingly work. That's a little bit weird. Yag ultimate is just generally janky as you know, but we'll throw the mark over there on the Eevee. There's a heal to her. She's going to roll away. We'll teleport up. Frame rate on this map is still a little bit all over the place, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Switch over to the Eevee. There's a heal. She's still up. Switch over to the Yag. There's a right click onto the Willow. I imagine the fact that I'm playing Corvus definitely doesn't help their frame rate because he usually has issues anyway, so we add that on top of the map. That's usually a little bit weird as well. It's just a freaking mess. Yag just tried to use the ult but missed. I don't know if that was on me or the Eevee. There's a mark over there for the Yagarath. There's a heal onto the Eevee. She went for the ultimate. There's a right click. I'm just going to get some shots into her and throw some heals and stuff. She's going for the ult, tried to get the Ceres. Obviously it didn't work. Shots onto the Dredge. There's a heal. I'm going to try and use my teleport, but I'm being crippled, and that's me gone. They're pushing it in the overtime. The Aggress not looking too good. Willow is okay though. We'll finish off our Chronos. And there we go. There is the defense successful. I don't know why they didn't jump on it. A bunch of them were up, but I guess we were just kind of locking it down. Finished off our Chronos already, so we'll go for Morale Boost and Nimble next. I feel like they'll both help me out quite a bit. I'm trying my best to stick with the team, but I do get cleared every now and again in the back line, mainly by the Cassie and occasionally the Vora. Through the Q onto the Yag. I'm going to run over left side. That's their Cassie going for the ultimate. I'm going to go ahead and just throw mine straight off the bat onto Yagras. She's pulling up the damage reduction. There's a heal. She's going to get cleared here though, I'm pretty sure. This might be a bad idea. There's some shots for her though. Willow's on the other side, so that is a free one. Got to give her props for going in with the flank. I really should not be this aggressive when I don't have my F up. He is still gone though. Props to the Willow. She's shredding once again. Yagras trying to run in, but I don't think she's going to live. I'm going to blink over this way. She's already looking kind of low. Ceres went for the ultimate, but we are all fine. I'm going to blink over this way, throw a heal. I don't know really where they're expecting me to go, but that actually kind of threw them off, it seems. Mark onto the Eevee. There's a right click as well. She is still up. Cassie's rolling around a little bit. There's another heal for her. I guess I'm blinking over. Well done, Eevee. Shouts for the play. There's a right click onto her. This is a very hectic match. I feel like I'm not blinking enough again. Same thing with the freaking Damber video. Yeah, trying to go for the ultimate. I would use my ultimate, but it would take a little bit too long, so we'll just go ahead and clear her like that with the weapon and cast her ultimate straight afterwards, which I think is actually going to work quite well. She's in the queue getting heals, but our ultimate deals mad damage. There's a right click. Just spamming shots down there. They're doing the same thing. There is a Q. I'm running out of breath in this one, man. This is a freaking hectic game. More shots. Dredge is just spamming. There's a right click and the teleport, and there is the victory. That ending of that match there was incredibly hectic, and I really need to blink more in my games whenever I play these active healers. That was just way too much, man. I have no idea how I'm going to cut that into something that seemed like it made sense, because I feel like I was just trying to make words happen, and it just really didn't. But we went 2, 5, 19, 40k, 100k. I'll happily walk away with that. As for the rest of the stats, our Grok did pretty good. Our Willow shredded for sure there. Same thing with the Yagarath. Our Eevee did pretty good. Probably could have done a little bit better. Same thing with the Grok a tiny bit, but neither of them, did badly. Their Vora did okay. Had a bit of a hard time though. Their Cassie did a pretty good job. Their Dredge actually did a bunch of damage there. Props to him. The Yagarath had a bit of a hard time, and their Ceres did very similar to what we did there. She actually beat us out by a little bit. Props to her. That was definitely more even than game one, but I feel like we won for the same reasons. And Dark Gift Corvus actually feels really damn good to play, more so than you'd actually expect. Although again, I feel like Spreading Influence edges it out just a little bit, but Dark Gift is a really solid talent at the moment. It was still fine before, but this actually puts up in the realm where you might actually go for it in some situations and have a better time than if you went for Spreading Influence. I'd of course love to hear your guys' thoughts on Mega Mark Corvus, which is I guess what I'm coining it. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It's been a bit of a hectic one. I have no idea how I'm going to cut this up, but I hope it's been somewhat watchable. I hope you have enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys all very soon, and above everything else, stay frosty. When are we going to get a frosty skin for Corvus, by the way? Never thought about that. He could really do with one.